Played in most high schools across the country. For those who don't know, the objective is to score the ball by putting it into the hoop or net, as it is commonly called. There are many different phrases used in basketball. For example, the word layup. It doesn't mean to lay on an elevated surface, but it is a type of shot in which the shooter jumps off 1 foot and scores the ball. Another type of shot is a jump shot, a shot in which a person jumps, stops, then shoots. It does not, however, mean to jump on a stop sign. Another favorite term used in the basketball community is the word bricking it. No, it does not mean to get angry and throw a brick at something. It means to miss the rim completely and strike the backboard really hard with the ball. A basketball team consists of 5 players that play on the court and a set of bench players. Now, every player has their own role. The posts work inside in the paint. The point guard usually runs the ball, and the wings receive the ball from the point guard and usually look into the posts. Now, usually the point guard is the one most skilled in basketball. The posts, as previously mentioned, are usually the biggest people on the court, because these people are usually the ones that set the screens inside. Now, when you usually think of post, you might think of a fence post, but this is not who it is in basketball. Another term used in basketball is ball hog, a player who does not pass the ball or hogs it. No, it's not a pig, literally a pig with a ball. An air ball is an unblocked shot that fails to hit the rim or backboard. Yes, the ball is filled with air, but that's not what it means literally. A flop in basketball is an intentional fall by a player after little or no physical contact from an opponent. Now, this is also a slang term for fall in standard English language. A free throw is an unopposed attempt to score a basket, worth 1 point from the free throw line.
Good. You're on the line!
Ready? Let me do it. That ball is weird! We'll do this behind. This is so how not. Chris, you're doing some good brickets. You gotta like separate them. You can't. Hold on.
Ready?
A charge in basketball is an offensive foul when the person with the ball rushes into a non-moving defender. Now, this is different from the charge that we normally think of when we think of electricity. A mnemonic used to teach proper shooting form in basketball is commonly called BEEF, or balance, eyes, elbow, and follow through. Another term in basketball is called a block. No, this is not a Lego. It's a violation in which a defender steps in front of the dribbler but is still moving when they collide, also called a blocking foul. To tip or deflect a shooter's shot, altering its flight so the shot misses. The small painted square on the floor next to the basket just outside. Another term used in basketball is the term box out. A box out is a move where a player uses his or her backside to prevent the adversaries from getting the rebound off the backboard. A second term is carry. A carry is a penalty in a formal play or slang for when an offensive player is deemed to have held the ball excessively at the ball's height while dribbling. A charge in basketball is an offensive foul when a person with the ball rushes into a non-moving defender. Now, this is not the charge that you would think of when thinking of electricity. A chucker is a player who frequently and often misses shot attempts. Another shot used in basketball is called the Mike and Joe. Now, usually the mic-in is when you stand underneath the basket and shoot from either the front or the back position.
Drop your keys.
I know. Alright, I'm good.
Plays are one of the most diverse parts of basketball language. For instance, a common play in Hammond is called 1-4, a play in which the point guard passes the ball to the wing, who then waits for a number of screens. This is not the netting you would find on your windows to occur. Then passes the ball to the opposing wing. Then the cycle repeats.
You ready?
When running plays, you might notice that the point guard runs down the court saying the play more than one time. This is not because they like to hear themselves talk. This is because they like to reiterate the play that they are doing, because there are many different kinds. From school to school, there are many different kinds of plays. Like in Hammond, we run pop, 1-4, 4 low, triangle, inside box, and many others. But in other schools, they run plays like UCLA, Syracuse. Another play we run is pop. No, this is not your favorite carbonated beverage. It is a play in which the post pops to the 3-point midcourt to receive the ball, then passes to the wing, runs, screens, and then rolls to the basket. 4 low is another play we run. This is a play when one person is out of bounds and 4 people stay box extended. The 2 posts screen each other and the 2 wings pop up to the 3-point line. This is not, however, a gear on a truck or car. A press breaker is another term commonly used in basketball. A press breaker is usually used to break up one's press, or full court defense. A press breaker is not, however, something you'd use to stop a newspaper printing for the day. Even the basketball itself has many different names. For instance, some people call it the rock, other people just call it a ball. There are also many different brand names that will go to notify balls by, like Wilson or just the Rock. In professional basketball, the most commonly used statistical benchmark for accompanying the overall value of players is called efficiency. Now, this is just a big word for the individual statistics, which are points, rebounds, and assists, steals, blocks, and turnovers during a game. Now, when you often think of efficiency, you might think of like electricity or gas mileage, but this is not what it means in basketball. It's just the number of shots you've made, the blocks you have attempted, or just even the shots you have missed. They're all compiled into this percentage that is put usually on a website for colleges to look at your efficiency on the court to see if they would like you to go play basketball there. Another term used in basketball is the term jump ball. Now, jump balls are usually how you begin a game, or it is the method used to resume play in a basketball game. Like if the ball goes out, then it's usually decided who gets the ball by a jump ball. Now, sometimes there is a technicality when first beginning the game, and they have to redo the jump ball. This usually just involves people recongregating around the center of the court and getting back into formation. Now, the word jump ball is a bit jumbled from the standard English language. Now, if you put it together in literal terms, it meant to jump on the ball. But in basketball, it just is a way to begin the game or resume play. Now, on a rare occasion in a basketball game, 2 teams will tie. This happens when the scores are identical at the end of the game. Now, in some games, they will go into overtime, which is added time onto the score clock, or they will just call it a draw. Now, this does differ from standard English language from the word tie. Usually when you think of tie, you think of a bow tie or a necktie. This is not what it means in basketball, however. It is just a fancy word for the scores were the same. That is the same with draw. Sometimes the refs will call it draw. Now, this doesn't mean they're going to stand out there with a notebook and paper and draw a pretty picture, but this does mean that it is a tied game and they are not going to continue into overtime. All these terms are derived from common language, like pop, four low, and triangle. Sometimes people get confused that are outside the basketball circle, but if you are in it, you usually get it immediately. It's the inner circle of the basketball family. Now, on a rare occasion in a basketball game, two teams will tie. This happens into overtime, which is added time onto the score clock. They will go into overtime, which is added time onto the score clock. Or they will just call from the word tie. Usually when you think of tie, you think of a bow tie. Now this doesn't mean they're going to stand out there with a notebook and paper.